Okay, I'm going to take you through how to construct a pie chart, show you, if you're a student, how you would secure all your marks on a GCSE question related to this topic. First thing you're going to do is a bit of groundwork with the table. This table is about the numbers of fish in a lake. The first thing I would do is count how many fish our pie chart is going to represent. So 10 plus the 23 plus the 39. Okay, and you'll be able to see that that adds up to 72. Okay, now the next step is the key thing. If there's anything that will prevent you from going forward, it's the next step. Okay, what we do is, if our pie chart represents 72 fish, you have to work out what one thing, in this case it's a fish, what one fish is as a degree, in terms of degrees, on your pie chart. Okay, so one fish is equal to, and basically you're going to share 360 degrees, so it's 360 degrees divided by the 72 fish from our table. Okay, so 360 divided by 72, and the answer is 5 degrees. That is the most vital step on your constructing pie chart question. In this case, it's all about fish. It could be about people, lorries, whatever. You count up the frequency, the sum of the frequency column, in this case it's 72, and share 360 degrees, the number of degrees in your circle in your pie chart, by the amount represented in your table. So if one fish is 5 degrees, we can work out what size, in terms of degrees, the sector is for perch, for bream, and for carp. Okay, and we do that by multiplying the frequency by the 5 degrees. Okay, so if one fish is 5 degrees, 10 fish would be 10 times 5, which is 50 degrees. We do the same for the other two rows. So 23 fish would give a sector of size 23 by 5, which would be 115 degrees, and 39 times 5 would give you an angle size of 195 degrees, and that would go in here like this. Okay, so now we're going to get on to the crunchy thing, which is the constructing of the pie chart itself. Okay, hopefully you've been practicing your compass skills. You need to construct an accurate circle, and then anywhere from the center of the circle, draw a line to its circumference, a radius on the circle. Anywhere. A lot of the GCSE questions have it pre-drawn for you. It can be vertical, like the one here, or it could quite easily come horizontally out to the side. Okay, so that's your first step, and you need to do that now. Okay, so you get your compass out. No, you don't. You get your protractor out. Okay, it's important that we get our names for our stationery right. We use our compasses to construct our circle, and we use a protractor for measuring the size of angles. Okay. Now, the ones we tend to use in our academy, in our school, are half circle, semicircle protractors. You can get protractors that have the full 360 degrees, and yeah, you can use those. I just have a preference for this type. So this demonstration will be using probably the most common type of protractor that you find. Okay, so what you'll notice is I've placed my protractor so that the cross in the middle, okay, is at the center of the circle. And you can see the line on my protractor goes along the line that I drew to the circumference of my circle. And you can see that there is a 0 just here, and that's where I'm going to start my measuring. So I'm going to actually read the inside from 0 going round to measure the first sector size of my for my pie chart. So that's going to be for perch, and it's going to be 50 degrees. So I'm going to read from 0 around here until I get to 50, and what I do is I draw a line on the outside. Okay, draw a line on the outside, and I then extend from the center of the circle all the way to the outside, and just make sure I'm as accurate as I can. And it looks something like this. Okay, so just make sure that you're accurate when you're connecting up. So we've got our first sector. Just make sure you label it accurately. So all the detail if you can. So it's 50 degrees is the sector size, and this represents perch. Okay, and if you want all the detail, you can put it in brackets or somewhere that it represents 10 fish. So I've got all the information within that sector. I've got the angle size, I've got how many, the frequency represented, and the name of the sector. And you just make it as clear as you possibly can as we're doing that. Okay, we then, keeping our protractor crosshairs at the center of our circle, we then just rotate our protractor round so that where we drew our last line now becomes the baseline for our measuring. So you can see that line with the 0 is now along the line that I've just drawn, and we're going to measure again from 0 around, and this time it's bream, the sector that we're measuring, and it's got to be 115 degrees. And you can see I've done that already. 115. I measured from 0 till I got to 115. I did a line on the outside and then connected from the middle all the way to the outside. And label it up. So I've got 23 represented, it's bream, and the angle size 115. Okay, so I've only got actually one more sector to measure, and it's 195 degrees. Now, if I've done this right, then I don't have to do any measuring. It means that whatever's left is 195, and I can see that it's just over half a circle, hence I need more than my protractor's 180. So if I measured from my new line, okay, I've rotated my protractor again, center crosshairs are still at the center of the circle, my 0 is now on my new line that I've drawn, measure it all the way around, and I can see that comes to 180, and I hope the rest is 15 degrees, which would be my 195. If that's true, then I've drawn it pretty accurately. Let's have a look. Okay, I've just drawn a little mark at my 180. Now adjust my protractor to see if the distance from my start line to that line is 15 degrees, and if it's right, it is accurate. And you can see that, yeah, from 0 to that line is 15 degrees, so that's pretty spot on. And there we have my completed pie chart.